Good morning students. Today we will be learning about our body and the things happening in our body. Under the topic Human Body Unit 4 Endocrine System and Adolescence. Now in our body we have two types of glands. One is exocrine gland and the second one is endocrine glands. The exocrine glands secrete their enzymes into tubes or ducts and they go to the blood, whereas endocrine glands secrete hormones directly into the blood or bloodstream. There are no ducts or there are no tubes, and that is why they are called ductless glands. There are no ducts or tubes, so if this is an endocrine gland, they are secreting the hormones directly into the bloodstream or blood, whereas the exocrine gland has tubes or ducts, and then through this the enzymes will reach the blood. These secrete enzymes and the endocrine gland secrete hormones. Now from the blood it will reach the target organ. From both ways. Now sometimes you must have had a headache or a stomach ache and you have taken a tablet. It will work on your stomach or head. So it directly, like the tablet, these enzymes and the hormones will go to the target organ and there it will work or act. Now, some exocrine gland examples are salivary gland, or pancreas. Pancreas is a little different from the other exocrine glands. It also secretes a hormone, so it belongs to exocrine as well as endocrine. So we cannot put it under exocrine. Some others like pituitary gland, only secrete hormone, so it is an endocrine gland. Whereas pancreas secretes both pancreatic juice for digestion and insulin for taking care of sugar in our body. So it is endocrine also. Now coming to the amount of secretions, the hormones are secreted in very small quantities, but even this small quantity is very important for our growth, development. All the processes in our body are controlled by hormones. So hormones are actually chemical substances secreted by the endocrine glands into the bloodstream directly and which act on the target organ or a cell. So they are very important in our lives. Right from our birth till death, they have all the functions to perform. So they are very important. Now, there are other endocrine glands like thyroid. Apart from pituitary, thyroid, then adrenal, pancreas, as I already said. We'll be learning these in detail. So first we are learning thyroid. In all these hormones and their glands, endocrine glands, you have to know the location, where they are located, their secretion and the function, and what happens when it is secreted in less amount or excess amount. So first we are learning thyroid. The thyroid gland secretes a hormone called thyroxine. This thyroxine is produced in our body itself and it requires iodine which comes in our body through the diet like iodized salt, etc. So a person with less salt intake may have a problem. Now thyroxine is produced, normal quantities produced in our body, which is taking care of all the metabolic processes in our body, which will take at a proper pace, like respiration, digestion, heartbeat, everything will be normal when it is there. So metabolism is taken care of by this hormone, which is produced by the thyroid gland. Now sometimes it is secreted in less quantities, or sometimes it is more. When it is not normal, when if thyroxine is secreted in less quantity or more quantity, both ways there will be a problem in the body. So less is called insufficient or hyposecretion, and more is called hypersecretion. Now where it is located, the thyroid gland is located in the neck region, in front of, on either side of the windpipe. If this is the windpipe, it's just the butterfly-like part, thyroid gland. It's just surrounding the windpipe on either side of the windpipe. So the target organ is the metabolism. It will be digestion in the stomach, or the heartbeat, movement of the blood. Everything is controlled by this hormone secreted by the thyroid gland in the neck region. But the processes are all over the body, so it controls them well. So it is bilobed. Both the sides lobes are there. Now it speeds up the process of the activities in the body in the normal range. When it is less, what happens is, when there is insufficient secretion, what happens is there is a simple goiter. First thing is simple goiter. That means when thyroxine is less in the body, the thyroid gland starts enlarging to compensate, to produce more of it, and start enlarging, and the neck region swells. So this is simple goiter. There is enlargement of this gland. And the second one, when there is swelling in the neck in this condition. The second one is cretinism. It is secreted right from childhood. So when it is secreted less in childhood, infant, what happens is there is development, physical and mental development is stopped, or retarded growth takes place in the child. So there is abnormality, because there is nothing to take care of the metabolic processes in the body of the child. So this happens only in children, cretinism. And the third problem is myxedema. Myxedema is a condition where there is sluggishness. The person will do the things slowly. We cannot call him lazy. This is happening because there is less thyroxine in the body. So the person will do things slowly, will be having a swelling face, and hands cannot do work at a normal rate. So myxedema may also, there will be eyes will be protruding in that person. Now, what happens when it is more in the body? It is taking care of metabolism, normal rate. So when it is more in the body, the metabolic processes start becoming faster breathing, faster heartbeat. So there is hypersecretion, so increased metabolic rate, or increased heartbeat, or increased general, all the processes, metabolic processes become more or faster. So this causes restlessness in the body of the person or the patient. Now, the next is adrenal gland. The adrenal gland is situated on the kidneys on top of the kidneys like cap-like structures. There's a pair. So on each kidney there's a pair here. This is adrenal gland. Now adrenal gland is divided into two parts. If you take it, the inner part and the outer part. The peripheral part is called a cortex and the inner part is called a medulla, central medulla and the peripheral cortex. Both of them secrete different hormones in the body. And all the hormones are equally important to the body as other hormones like thyroxine. So what happens is the cortex is at the periphery, so it secretes and this is in the center. Now the cortex secretes many hormones. The main one which we are learning is cortisol. The cortisol hormone, what it does is, it takes care of the stress situations in our body. So during infections or during cold or heat, these conditions are taken care of by cortisol, the cortex hormone, cortisol. Now coming to, and it also influences it is influenced by the carbohydrates and fat and protein metabolism in our body. Now the medulla hormone is very important, that is adrenaline. Adrenaline hormone is very important in our body. It is also called epinephrine. Now why it is important? Because when we have stress conditions like you are answering the paper for the first time, sometimes you go blank, you think you don't know anything, or sometimes when your dog is chasing you, you will run away from that place, you won't wait for that dog to reach you, or there is a thief around you, you can feel, sense, and you will be moving away from that place. So all these things are happening because of adrenaline or epinephrine, which is adrenal gland hormone, and it is secreted by the core of the adrenal gland. And because this helps us to run away from the stress situation or take care of the stress situation in case of exams and all, our body adjusts to those conditions, the stress situations, and that is why it is also called emergency hormone or it is also called fight or flight hormone. Either you fight the situation or you run away from that place. So it is also called fight or flight hormone. Can you imagine if this hormone was not secreted in your body? So there are many conditions when it is secreted hypo, less or more in our body, we have problems. So actually what it does is, in these stress situations, it provides us with extra energy. Like if we are going a long drive, then we put more fuel in the engine so that we won't be stuck in any place. So this is what is happening here. So it gives us more energy for metabolism to take place. So because of this hormone, what happens in our body is increased heartbeat, then rate of respiration rises in the bloodstream, or blood pressure also increases. So all these processes are increased. Now coming to even this helps us to take care of angry situations or fearful situations. I always call this, it helps us to control our anger or control our fear. Being fearful of something is not bad, it's normal. So adrenaline takes care of all these emotions too. Now coming to the third hormone, the third hormone is secreted by the gland which is both pancreas, that is, it is also exocrine because it secretes pancreatic juice which helps in digestion, and it secretes the most important hormone, two hormones. One is insulin and second one is glycogen, which takes care of sugar level in our body. So what happens is, when insulin is present in our body, whatever we eat, the fruits, vegetables, everything, the extra sugar is converted into glycogen and kept in the liver. Now, if insulin is less, then what happens? Then this process will not take place. Or sometimes if insulin is produced in sufficient quantities but the cells are not processing it well, then also this our sugar will remain in our body, that will be in the bloodstream. From the bloodstream it will be taken to the kidneys, it will go flow to the urine. So any person having sugar in the blood and urine will be said to be diabetic because their sugar is not taken care of by the insulin. Either insulin is produced less by the pancreas, or sometimes insulin is produced in normal quantities but it is not processed by the cells. Now, the whole of the pancreas, it is below the stomach. The pancreas location is behind the stomach or below the stomach. So what happens is, the whole pancreas will not produce insulin and glycogen. It will be, this is glycogen, sorry. It will be only few cells called islets of Langerhans. Islets of Langerhans is a group of cells which will produce insulin, and that will work on our sugar level of our body. So what happens is, this lowers the glucose, or you can say it normalizes the glucose in our body or sugar in the bloodstream. How it does it? First thing is, it converts the extra glucose to glycogen, and it is stored in the liver. Then the second way how it does it is, it induces the cells to burn the extra glucose. And third one is, it converts the extra glucose to fat. All these things helps us to be diabetic free, or we can say the glucose level is maintained well. Now when insulin is in normal quantities, when this is not there, when this is less, all these processes will be stopped in our body. So the sugar level will be there in the blood and it cannot be controlled unless some injection or tablet is taken from outside. You must have heard about insulin injections, etc. Now, what glycogen does is, only when glucose level is more in the body, this will take care. Sometimes the glucose level is less in our body. That time when you go for a running race and all, we require more energy. That time glycogen changes the stored glycogen. The stored glycogen is changed to glucose whenever required. So this is the way how it works, and there is always feedback mechanism for the endocrine system. When there is more or less, it will give a feedback to the brain to either produce more or less. Exactly what is required, it will be made in the body. For example, insulin, if it is less, these things will not happen in a normal person. So a feedback mechanism will go to the brain. The brain will send insulin, so that it works, these things are taken care of. Say, this will be doing in the next class. So till then, please read the lesson well and answer the questions at the back of the lesson. Thank you.